Drake, happy Halloween. What did you dress up as this year, or did you dress up?
Yeah, on Saturday night I dressed up as a hillbilly, so to speak. I had a nice little mullet wig going on and a couple fake mom tattoos on my arm. So
was it a blonde mullet or a brown or black?
It was black, so actually people thought it was my actual hair, which is pretty funny. But yeah, just a nice little wig.
Nice little wig. All right, cool. What's the craziest costume you've seen this year so far?
This year so far, I've seen some inappropriate ones. One of the funnier ones I saw was a couple guys on the team dressed up as the Village Men. I think Dylan was like a crazy biker guy. CE was an Indian. Chris O'Brien was like a cowboy. So
like the Village People?
Like the YMCA Village People, yeah. So that was pretty funny. Pretty clever, those guys.
Cool. Talk to me about how practice has been going so far this year.
Practice has been going really well. We over the past couple of weeks, up to that scrimmage last week, we've really been growing together as a team. Starting to kind of mesh well with the younger guys, getting those guys up to speed. So we've definitely been developing and definitely taking a step in the right direction, getting ready for next week.
With a lot of starters and guys who got a lot of minutes gone from last year, what's been the hardest part about kind of developing kind of a new nucleus or a new group of guys who's gonna get a lot of playing time?
Yeah. That's exactly what we've been trying to do, is kind of create an identity. We had about 5 guys who got decent amount of playing time last year for us, a lot of starters too. So it's really been up to me, guys like me, Chris O'Brien, Chris Eversley, Dylan Royer, to really kind of set the tone in the weight room, and the classroom, and on the court. Just getting those guys used to our culture and the work ethic that we're trying to build here at Cal Poly. So.
Coach seems to be really excited about Chris O'Brien coming back, as far as his versatility. What does it mean to have him back on the team, on the court with you guys?
Yeah, Chris just gives us another physical body, especially with a young team. Chris is somebody, he's got a high IQ, definitely knows the game, talks well, which is huge. He can kind of help mentor a lot of these younger guys, along with myself. So yeah, we're excited to have him back. Very fortunate that he's healthy again, and he's looking pretty good.
Talk about losing Malik. What kind of an impact is that going to have on your guys' depth?
You know, it's huge. I'm a big fan of Malik. He worked really hard this offseason, and you know, injuries kind of happen, and it's just kind of part of the game. But it's been a pretty big loss. But you know what? Guys like, I mean, that's part of the game, and a lot of guys end up stepping up from that. Jamal's done a great job kind of taking that place, developing into the leading point guard, as well as guys like Kyle Oster's been playing really well at the point position, and that's a position I'll probably have to play a lot too this year, kind of moving out from the 3 to the 1. So
handling the ball, bring it up the court.
Yep, exactly. Just kind of being utilized as like anywhere from like a 1 through 4,
like a point forward almost.
Exactly.
At times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and I played a lot of that last year too, when Amari was getting a lot of double teams.
Right.
So it's something that I'm comfortable with, but that's just something we're trying to adjust to. I think we'll be okay.
Got it. Talk about the development of some of the freshmen. Brian Bennett, Zach Allman, Zach, is it Gordon?
Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, he's the late one,
yeah.
So I'm still trying to get all the names here. Talk about especially Brian and Zach Gordon,
yeah,
and them being down low and replacing guys with a lot of experience.
Yeah. First of all, like, this is the most size that we've had since I've been here at Cal Poly. You know, we're losing Will Taylor, who's a big dominant force down there. I kind of undersized, but big Brian Bennett has really developed over the summer, even just instantly come with the right attitude. Really hard worker, which is great for guys that are trying to learn. He's taken huge steps, as well as Zach Gordon. Zach Gordon's come right in. Both of them, I think the biggest thing is that they're both willing to listen. They're both willing to be coached. So those guys are going to be huge for us, especially with the returning guards. We're going to need a lot of posts.
You talk about willingness to be coached. How important is that on this team, like to be able to understand concepts and be willing to be coached and do the right things?
That's huge. It's huge. This is such a different level from the high. A lot of people don't realize it's such a big jump from high school to Division I. So the young guys that we've had have been really willing to be coached, which is huge, because that's just going to help us next week, even when we play TCU. So yeah, their willingness to learn and learn new things is great for their development.
What's the thing that you think this team is kind of going to improve on over the year? Something that might not be like shining in the TCU game, but you think, you know, a way that your team can really kind of improve upon or improve during the season?
in terms of like from last year,
or just throughout this season, throughout the beginning of practice? What are some things that have improved, or you think are going to continue to improve?
Yeah, I think that we're playing a little different style this year. A lot more freedom. It's not as structured offensively, so that gives guys like myself, guys like Chris Eversley, a lot of room to create, and there's a lot more flow in our offense, which is going to be huge. We're still going to stick with our defensive principles. I think that's something that you'll really see develop as time goes on. The younger guys get used to our matchup zone and the concepts and principles of that. So that's something that's definitely going to develop. But I think overall, I honestly think that this is like one of the most talented teams that we've had since I've been here. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Yeah.